Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Being your family's grocery store isn't just about having the best butcher cut meat or the freshest produce. It's not about having the highest quality online shopping or experts who handpick your groceries. And it's not just about giving you the most affordable prices. Being your family's grocery store means making sure that you have all of that. And that's why at Fairway Meat and Grocery, it's what we've always been about.
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Slade's the place for you! We'd like to welcome you to this year's Iowa Girls State Softball Tournament in Fort Dodge, Iowa. We hope you've enjoyed the action today, and we're here today with Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson. And we're actually visiting Brent at his farm just outside of Manson, Iowa. We are so thankful for all those who support us to help put on this great event, none of which are more important than Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Why does Iowa Farm Bureau invest in Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union?
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to be the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, and we're also thrilled to be a part of this year's Girls State Softball Tournament. This tournament not only showcases Iowa's elite teams, but the athletes competing here today are among the nation's best and brightest, and our farmers are among the nation's most productive. Our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the opportunity to honor both while supporting and uplifting the Iowa girls.
Why has the Iowa Farm Bureau invested so much in support of the Iowa girl and all of Iowa's youth across this nation?
Well, we at Farm Bureau believe in championing Iowa's youth. After all, one day they will be our state's future leaders. The Iowa Farm Bureau Scholarship Program, we've given over $500,000 every year to kids across the state. We've also teamed up with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union to sponsor concussion insurance at no cost to those athletes or their families so that they can continue to compete at a high level. We've also provided teachers over the last 8 years with over $450,000 so that they can properly equip their classrooms. And most recently, we've gifted $1 million to the FFA Foundation for their efforts to increase agriculture awareness and support their chapters across the state.
The student athletes participating in this year's tournament are taking home some great souvenirs.
The signature ball program, a memento that they can take with them so someday they can look back on their experiences here and know that the effort that they put in has really paid off, and really congratulate all those students that are competing here at this year's tournament.
Thank you, Brent, and thank you, Iowa Farm Bureau. Now let's get back to playing ball.
A wonderful good evening to you from Fort Dodge. It's the final game of the semifinal round between North Linn and Clarksville. We've switched diamonds, which means we're speeding up the process. You're going to meet the two teams. Right now, we go to our public address announcer, Mr. Tim Fitzpatrick.
Now let's feature non-starters. First of all, for the visitors from Clarksville, number 1, Madeline Sturkin. Number 5, Sierra Bird. Number 7, Jenny Johnson. Number 9, Cindy Lovren. Number 11, Tia Jacobs. Number 17, Savannah Pierce. Number 18, Capri Clark. Number 21, Zoe Pierce. Number 22, Maya Becker. Excuse me, that's Baker. You're welcome. 25, Corey Rossi. 26, Kara Bolin. Your assistant coaches, Taylor Aaronholtz, Bailey Myers, and Corey Whittegate. Now, here's your starting lineup for the Clarksville Indians. Leading off, doing the pitching, number 2, Kaylin Hardy. Batting field, number 16, Emily Van Warren. Batting third, and doing the catching, number 10, Jenna Myers. Batting fourth, designated player, number 14, Lauren Kell. Batting fifth, in center field, number 15, Paige Kemplin. Batting sixth, in left field, number 20, Holly Bloker. Batting seventh, at third base, number 6, Anna Rangston. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 4, Katie Kemplin. Batting in the ninth position at shortstop, number 19, Claire Lodge. Their flex player at first base, number 12, Rachel Orchard. Head coach for the Clarksville Indians, Katie Berman. And now, let's meet the team from North Linn. Here are your non-starters. Number 1, Paisley Carpenter. Number 7, Sam West. Number 11, Jillian Schulte. Number 16, Lucy Hoggenberry. And number 18, Abby Michael. Your assistant coaches, Taylor Henderson and Hannah Bridgewater. Now here are your starters for the North Linn Leagues. Leading off, plate shortstop number 8, Skylar Bennett. Batting second at second base, number 10, Kenzie Bridgewater. Batting third at pitching, number 13, Ellie Lynn. Cleanup hitter for the Lynx, doing the catching, number 24, Jersey Payton. Batting fifth at first base, number 28, Kylie Munson. Batting sixth at center field, number 17, Peyton McMahon. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 22, Harley Henderson. Batting eighth, in left field, number 25, Lily Rayburn. Batting ninth, third baseman, number 21, Alec Christensen. And your flex player in right field, number 20, Eva Hoover. And coach for North Linn, Jen Spohr. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the home plate area. For officials for tonight's game, at first base, Mark Amadeo. At third base, Bill Priest. And calling the balls and strikes tonight, Carl Woldridge. All right, who's ready to play some state tournament softball?
I am. I'm ready to play one final semifinal game here in Class 1A. We have had a wild turn of events in just the last about 15-20 minutes. We had a game that went into the 10th earlier. Okay, it was the first game on the other field. Kind of set us back about an hour. We had a shortened game because of a run rule, and the other game was still going on with the potential for extra innings, and we're going to save about 15 minutes. It's going to be Clarksville and North Linn here, as you just had the introductions. North Linn, they are 37-6, defeated Sigourney. Took them 8 innings. They won 1-0 on an unearned run. It was an error that opened up the door. And Clarksville, pretty exciting game last night against Southeast Warren, who played in the championship game last year in Class 1A. Clarksville, the 6th seed, kind of felt like they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, but they enter this contest tonight with an opportunity to get back to the state final. Both of these teams have been in the finals in recent times. The Clarksville Indians, they were the state champs in 2020. They'd like to go back. Let's find out how it shakes out here. We're ready to play on the Kruger Seeds Field as it is approaching 9 o'clock. First pitch will be coming at 80 degrees just before 9, so you're going to have a full game under the lights, but we are free on the clouds. Blue skies, gorgeous sunsets around here on Webster County, and Ellie Flanagan is ready to throw the first pitch at 8:49 tonight on Wednesday, July the 19th. Kaylin Hardy, the pitcher for Clarksville, digs in from the right side. She's down 0-1. The pitch from Flanagan is high, evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Our umpires tonight, Carl Woolridge behind the plate, calling the balls and strikes. Mark Amadeo is at first, and that pitch is high at 2-1. Ben Gislussen will be with me in a little bit. He was wrapping up his broadcast as Van Meter survived a 6th-run 6 by Central Springs to deny the Panthers a chance on that dated state in the final, something they've not been able to do in their 9 consecutive games. As that ball sails out of the zone, and it's 3-1. So Van Meter advances to Friday's championship game. Flanagan's 3-1 is swung on and missed, and Hardy is down on strikes for the first out of the game. Hardy did not bat first in the previous game, did here tonight, as Coach Katie Burnham flipping the lineup just a tiny little bit. First pitch to Emily Manwaring is fouled back into the screen. Oh, that's Hardy. Hardy, I thought she was out. I'm watching the wrong game. 3-2 now. It was a 3-1. Popped up towards center, drifting further back into a long fly ball. Now the out is made. Peyton McCann is there. 1 away. The game that happened here, Martinsdale St. Mary's, Campbell German had a perfect game before giving up a single to the leadoff batter in the top of the 7th, but didn't matter. Martinsdale St. Mary's knocked out Wayne 9-0. That was the other 1A semifinal. So Martinsdale St. Mary's will play the winner of this game, the last game of the 2023 season. First pitch to Emily Manwaring is swung on and missed. Next pitch is out of the zone. Evens the count up at a ball and a strike. The sophomore right fielder from the left side. Next pitch is fouled into the net above the third base dugout. Swung on and missed by Manwaring, and there's 2 away here in the Clarksville first. That is a strikeout, first strikeout of the game for Flanagan. The outfield for the Lynx, Rayburn in left, McMahon in center, Hoover in right. Christensen, Benish, Bridgewater, and Munson on the infield. Ellie Flanagan in the circle, and Jersey Payton behind the plate. And Flanagan rolls that one up to Jenna Myers, the senior catcher, who bats from the right side. That pitch is chopped towards second. Bridgewater up and over and out. So the Indians go 1-2-3 here in their half of the first. No score. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau.
What's affordable to her might not be for him. Our means may be different, but our need for energy is the same. And keeping the price for that energy as low as possible is exactly what we strive to do. It's what we've always done. Investments made 10 years ago have kept prices nearly unchanged. Investments made today will help keep prices predictable for the future. With energy that's cleaner, reliable, and affordable for all. An energy future that's American-made. Mid-American. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Central College has you covered for career-building programs. And with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships, it's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. Half of the first inning is in the books, the second half to come. It's North Linn. They'll send Skylar Benish, Mackenzie Bridgewater, and Ellie Flanagan. If anybody gets on, it's Jersey Payton. To bat for North Linn, who are in the white tops, white belt, maroon pants, maroon numbers trimmed with black and gray down the left side. Clarksville going with the all dark maroon look tonight from dark black, with Clarksville in a cursive font on the front and piping on the front of the jersey. The numbers are white, the socks are high, and softball's ready to go here. First pitch for North Linn to Skylar Benish is a ball. Joining me now is Ben Gislason, who is at the other game, double duty, back-to-back games. I'm giving him a chance to catch his breath because that one, I'll get to that in a moment, the 1-0.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about it.
It was, I just kind of did a quick little recap, but it doesn't do it justice. Van Meter was cruising 10-3 in the sixth. In fact, it looked like Van Meter in the fifth was maybe going to send that game 10 run.
They were one swing away from it, Paul.
Yeah, and that pitch misses. 3-0. And Central Springs changed pitchers, changed a little momentum, and this game that we're playing, North Linn and Clarksville, was supposed to be on the other diamond, so all the fans that had found a seat, broadcasters that had found a spot to call the game, had to pick up and move as a 4-pitch walk to Skylar Benish to start the North Linn half of the first, and that'll bring in Mackenzie Bridgewater as Benish goes down the line.
An incredible game over there that you mentioned it. Cruising along was the perfect way to put it for that Van Meter club, and then all of a sudden a few hits and one of the most incredible runs of errors I've ever seen as a bunt comes down the line here.
Throws quickly down, fielded by Hardy to Borchert. We're going to have runner is out. She stepped on the plate is what we're hearing from home plate umpire Carl Woodridge, so that is an out.
And it'll bring the runner back to first as well.
That's the big part of the play that changes things. That's the rule. So instead of it being a sacrifice, it just goes 2-3, first out of the inning. As you see the replay there pop through. That'll bring in the pitcher, Ellie Flanagan. Looks at a first pitch strike. So now you got to figure out a way to get Benish down to second with one out. Changes your game plan a little bit, but you got to follow the rules. That's why we have umpires.
that's why they put them there, right, Paul? Well, had the chance to see Caitlin Hardy pitch in the quarterfinal game.
Throw down to second on the steal, goes into second base, but everybody's backing up. Paige Campman fields it.
Put together a really nice outing there and took down a very good Southeast Warren team on the way to get to the semifinal. And she faced some tough spots in that game against a really good batting Southeast Warren team, and there weren't many of those spots, though. She really, really mowed them down well in that game and then played almost a perfect night against a team that has given a lot of pitchers trouble this season in the Warhawks.
I think you undersold it. Southeast Warren hits the cover off the softball. That is a hard-hitting team, and talking to Hardy after the game last night, she said, how did you do it? She goes, they just didn't get solid contact on me. And when a pitcher can do that, it doesn't matter it's baseball or softball, you don't get solid contact, you're going to pitch a long time. Dar Danielson is my hero and always has been, and I'll say it for real. Dar had a lot of games. Thank you for him and the rest of the crew here. And Ben, this is your first experience, if I'm not mistaken, of this tournament. So how did Dar do? You have to grade him.
Well, we had a great time this morning, and we had a great game. It was certainly a game that we weren't quite sure what we were going to get. It was Muscatine, and boy, the games really blur together with you. Pleasant Valley, who I got to see twice, and I was impressed by the Pleasant Valley team. But hey, and per usual, when you have a broadcast tandem, as you and I will have to do, you got to feel each other out a little bit. But once you do, Dar and I got it cooking, and we had a great time.
Well, the amazing thing about Dar is he doesn't take a breath, and he can go and go. Flanagan punches it to first. That'll move the runner up with 2 outs. And we'll just call that a sack 3U. Dar does a lot of Class 5A games. You live in the Des Moines area. How much softball did you kind of keep an eye on, knowing that this would be an assignment throughout the summer? What have you seen from, you're talking 5A. You're now seeing, you saw 1A yesterday. You're seeing 1A tonight. What stood out to you about the play?
Well, I was a late ad. Actually, Emery Songer, who used to fill in up here, he's a friend of mine and moving out of the Des Moines Metro to take one of his dream jobs he's been looking for in Omaha. But he told me he was leaving. I knew he'd done some of this, so maybe CISN and the Girls Union Network was going to look for some broadcasters, and I reached out. So I started watching a little late, but I did do an ADM Norwalk game last year for MC22, actually. That was my foray into it. And the one thing that I've learned quickly about softball, one is how quickly the game moves. I love that. Hasn't been the case on all the ballparks today. But the other thing that I've loved, especially being at the state tournament, the parity. Great pitch there from Hardy. The parity from 1A to 5A, and the fact that you're seeing 1A teams playing 5A teams and competing with 5A teams, that's been the thing that stood out the most to me, because coming from Minnesota high school sports, I was a hockey player up there, just 2 classes on the hockey side. You'll see a little bit of that, but top to bottom, you don't see that kind of parity in the state tournament like you do here in softball, especially for 5 classes, which has really astounded me.
Jersey Peyton and the 2 balls, 2 strikes. You took the punchline of what I was trying to set you up for. Ben is not a newbie to this broadcasting thing. He mentioned the H word. That pitch is lifted in the air deep. That has a chance to leave the reservation, and it does. That's a home run. Jersey Peyton gives the Lynx a 2-0 lead on a monster shot to left.
Came in with 2 in the regular season, and she's looking to add more to her mantle here in the state tournament. That thing came tattooed off the barrel of the bat and had some vapor trail behind it on its way over the fence. A monster shot from a big batter for this team in the Jersey Peyton, the junior catcher. That thing had steam on it, and a big moment early in this game, not only to grab a home run, but to grab one this early. That's an exclamation point early in this game for the Lynx.
You see in the replay, that thing almost looked like it looked like about at least 210, 220. The diamond here, a lot of the fields that these teams play on are 180s, 190s. Some play 200, but when you hit a 200, you did not see it. Maybe you were here already in the Centennial game.
I did. The blue umbrella that was sitting up there. That
hit it
the
about
top of the fence back there.
About where that camera is right now. That was one of the longest shots. That one's fouled right back behind home for Kylie Munson. But Ben, when you say fast moving, which moves faster? Iowa Wolves hockey or softball?
I'm going to correct you, Iowa Wild
I said
hockey,
Wild.
I said Wolves. We play in the same building.
I knew it was the same building, and I knew it the moment I said it. I'm like, it's
well, Iowa Wolves basketball moves pretty darn fast, too.
Yes. The Wild, the affiliate. This is going to end up being a error at first, and that is tough on a routine ground ball that Borchert just ate her up, rolled off of her and into foul territory, and just far enough she couldn't collect and tag. So Munson will go down to first. Iowa Wild hockey is your full-time job. Hockey moves fast. Softball moves fast, but I could never do.
Different kinds of speed, I would say. I like the pace of the game, the pace of the pitching. I was a baseball player growing up, and they're very different sports in just the pacing of the game. I love how quickly the game's moving. It's not because you want the games to get over, but we're seeing it right here. Caitlin Hardy's rolling them through. She did give up that home run, but the pacing is good, and now Hardy and the Indians will look to turn a little bit of their own medicine that the Lynx just threw at them back in their face here, trailing 2 in this game.
1 left. McMahon grounds out. We go to the second inning. 2-0 North Linn on the Digital Network, presented by Mid-American Energy.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics. Because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
We move to the second. North Linn on a 2-run home run enjoy a 2-0 lead as we are in the second. Rachel Borchert, which is the flex, so the flex DP comes off. Puts Borchert at the plate now, Paige Campman and Molly Bloker. So 4, 5, and 6 for the Indians. Ben, you mentioned the 5A, 1A as that ball is fouled back. Clarksville's only loss this season was to 5A Waterloo West in a doubleheader that was in a tournament earlier this season. Both Waterloo West and Clarksville were supposed to have another opponent. That opponent backed out, so why don't you two just play each other twice? The 0-2 is swung on and missed, and Borchert is out on strikes. First out of the game, second strikeout for Flanagan, and that'll lead way for Paige Campman.
It really does make the state feel small in the softball world. The fact that you see so much bleeding over class to class, I was blown away by that when I was just starting to do some homework coming into the tournament. You just see all these teams, for the most part, know each other in some way, shape, or form, which I just think is a really special, unique part of this whole tournament.
Could be that you are playing a team that your son is the coach. As is in Carlisle Van Meter. A lot of family involved there. Or Clarksville and Waverly Shell Rock, as Katie Burnham's sister coaches at Waverly Shell Rock. The 1-1 to Campman floats just off the plate.
Teams are blending together in my head here, but I know there's a few Dunleavys running around on some different teams as well. Zach Dunleavy, head coach here in the tournament. That's been one of the hardest parts. It's funny, my wife's been asking me, what games did you do today? And you do 3 in a day, and I say, honey, let me check my notes, because I can barely remember off the top of my head.
It's always that announcer thing. You know how it is. You'll see him in the hallway when you get home or to the hotel. Hey, who won? What was the score? And you just have the blankest look. Strike 3 called on Campman. 2 outs, both via the K. And I'll come home from a football game and go, I think it was 48-35. I can usually tell you who won. But that's why the beauty of using a scorebook the same year after year. I can look back. Laura Leonard and I will have the call on Iowa PBS on Friday, as that one is punched foul down the line, just almost out from Molly Bloker.
I worked with Laura on that MC22 game last year. Talk about someone who doesn't forget about scores and teams. She's got it all. She's got a steel trap.
We exchange a lot of notes, and usually it's her giving me notes, and I just, yes, thank you. I will take that. I will not steal it. That's your story. The 0-1 misses. Laura Leonard and I will have the 3A, 2A, 1A game on Friday afternoon in Iowa PBS. Brad Wells will have the call, and Allie Kappert on 5A and 4A beginning late afternoon. I think it's 5:30 is first pitch in 5A. Tomorrow on Iowa PBS. 1 ball, 2 strikes, Molly Bloker. Defense plays her pretty much straight away. And that one's fouled into our crowd mic. And into the netting. When Flanagan rolls, good things happen. She rolled, didn't give up a run against Sigourney in the opener.
4 hits as well, so it was a very tidy day in the quarters for Flanagan.
Rise ball laid off by Bloker, and the thing with Flanagan is she didn't even play in the regional final. If you look at her right knee, you can see it there in the screen. There is a black brace. The windmill is out and into the backstop. Hurt that before the regional final, was a did not play in the game against Xavier, or in a game against Calamus-Wheatland, which they won easily 17-7. Swung on and missed, and Flanagan strikes out the side. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Tournament from Fort Dodge, powered by Mid-American Energy.
What's affordable to her might not be for him. Our means may be different, but our need for energy is the same. And keeping the price for that energy as low as possible is exactly what we strive to do. It's what we've always done. Investments made 10 years ago have kept prices nearly unchanged. Investments made today will help keep prices predictable for the future, with energy that's cleaner, reliable, and affordable for all. An energy future that's American-made. Mid-American. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Clarksville goes to the diamond to be the defense team, which means it's Kaylin Hardy in the circle. She rears back and fires the first pitch for a strike here in the second. Harley Henderson leads off the inning, the designated player.
You know, the other thing, Paul, that I just was not at all prepared for and have just loved here at the state tournament, the pageantry of the teams. That's just something you're not going to find that online with Googling and getting ready for these games. You show up and some of the streamers in the hair and the cowboy hats. It's just, I've loved it. It's so unique.
Well, we're in your building for basketball. If you want to see pageantry, the 0-2 is fouled off. That's a show in Wells Fargo Arena when you have spotlights and smoke, and in volleyball they do the same thing. Softball, it's the dugout, it's the buckets that the girls sit on with that are decorated. Yes, the cowboy hats that are pink. There's two teams. There's a horse. Swung on and missed. And Henderson is out on strikes. If you Google IGHSAU, one of the first keywords that comes back is pageantry. It's a definition of pageantry. That is a long tradition in this state, and I'm glad you picked up on it right away.
Right away.
Lily Rayberg in for North Linn. First pitch backs up just out of the zone.
Well, good on Hardy to come back with a strikeout, too, after that home run in the previous inning. And, you know, it's one of the hardest parts for pitchers is they have to have such a short but also a long memory at the same time. It just depends on what you're thinking about. Keep the good memories, drop the bad ones, and Hardy's got it going right now. She's already back ahead in the count.
I'm going to give you another lesson about Iowa sports here on the 1-1 to Rayburn. And that's hit into left field for a base hit. You can let her 5 times in softball and baseball in Iowa because, like Rayburn, she's an 8th grader. Such a different dynamic to have a 13, 14-year-old playing with 17 and 18-year-olds. And a lot of times, some of those 8th graders are some of the best players on the diamond.
I was going to say, these teams are littered with them. Another thing, in just gearing up for the tournament, you see that and you think they must just be rostered players as that one just bleeds foul. But nope, they got high batting averages. They're leading teams in RBI, and you're right, they're all over these rosters. And talk about a blessing to have for some of these coaches. They go, I got my shortstop best hitter locked up for the next 5 years. I'm in good shape.
And you'll have, it happens in 1A. It takes a rare case in the 5A, 4A realm, but you'll see it. That pitch is a strike, 0-2 to Christensen. And those 8th graders, but they're playing travel ball all the time. And they are usually playing up, and so playing on a varsity level is sometimes not that different. Sky to left, converging our left and center, but calling off bloker is Campman to collect, and there's 2 away. And when you have 8th graders that turn out to be great players, it's fun to say when they go into the Hall of Fame, I remember when. You don't see the 8th grade pitcher, but you will. You'll see a lot of players with great bats, and sometimes it's out of need, and sometimes it's out of necessity. Is Skylar Benish takes a first pitch strike.
I think it was Olivia Rubel, pitcher for Southeast Warren yesterday, that had pitched since she was in 8th grade for the Warhawks. I remember seeing that and talking to Coach Cody Reynolds about her. And tremendous player. All-state a couple of times, moving on to play at Indian Hills Community College when the state tournament wraps up. Looking into next fall, which will attend school.
2-1 now as Hardy missed on back-to-back pitches here. As we are across the road, swung on and missed to even it up from the Fort Dodge Regional Airport, so it's not uncommon to look up and see an airplane landing and wondering, oh, did I miss my flight? All part of the show here. Now they just have to get the plane that circles around and around and says
banner on the back of it.
Eat it Chucks or something like that, and the strikeout is recorded. That is the 3rd out, and that means we played 2 full innings. 2-0 North Linn. This is the Girls State High School Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
When you choose Delta Dental of Iowa, you set a chain of good in motion. Because we invest in your community. So whether you get your plan at work or purchase it through us, you get more than great dental and vision insurance. You make a difference for others. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, and for your community.
Bottom of the order, Wangness, Campman, and Lodge due up for Clarksville as we move to the 3rd. As Flanagan's faced the minimum. She struck out 4.
Wangs is a .365 hitter this season. She'll lay down a bunt to start.
And that'll roll foul.
Another thing on the softball side that I just didn't expect, being a baseball player, bunting for hitting like that. Way more in play in the softball diamond than it is on the baseball side. And there's some girls out here that are just sensational at it.
So Laura Leonard and I were having that exact conversation with a couple of teams. The 0-1 is in there for a called strike about teams that have brought the bunt back. There was a time that the bunt was everybody had to do it. You had to play defense or you just got beat. Then it became the long ball, and there's still a lot of teams that hit it. But this year, seems to be more and more teams are laying down that bunt. The slap has kind of gone away. You'll see an occasional slapper, but it's a lot of those bunts. The 1-2 is going to land, but not far enough to get a hit. Behind first, coming over is Bridgewater. Underhands it to Munson for the putout.
A superb range there from Bridgewater at second base, and we'll talk about this on a few broadcasts as we see it on the replay. Watch the footwork here of Bridgewater. It's so tough when you're moving laterally to keep up your speed, not look away from the ball, and put it all together at once. Really good fundamental softball there from Bridgewater at second base. Nice work from the sophomore.
Well, the bunt puts the emphasis on execution of the play, but it then puts the pressure. You hear it all the time, baseball, softball. Put the ball in play, let's see what happens. Softball's the same way. You have an error. It happened in the game you just did. How many times was that ball thrown around by Van Meter that allowed Central Springs to move a runner up? The diamond is smaller, and so any little mistake is amplified because there's so little room for error.
Including a throwback from the catcher to the pitcher in that Van Meter game that resulted in 2 runs scoring. 2. because there was another overthrow after that. It was unbelievable.
The bunt comes, and it is foul because it didn't make it past the plate. And that'll be a 2-2 count here to Katie Campman.
Campman, one of 2 Campmans on this Clarksville roster. Both had an imprint on that Southeast Warren quarterfinal game. Trying to make a stamp on this one here. Ooh, that's a good shot.
Off Bridgewater's glove, recovers in time, across to Munson. So consecutive putouts, 4-3, nets 2 outs.
Again, the footwork of Bridgewater, that lateral movement, and when you're playing in the middle of the infield, that's a must. You got to be able to go to your left and to your right on the backhand too, and you see it so often at this state tournament. These girls are so solid. Even if they don't field it cleanly, they stay with it and they get that throw off and they get the runner out, which is exactly what Bridgewater did there. Tip of the cap.
So it's Claire Lodge, sophomore, shortstop. Good mix on both of these teams with their age classifications. We both have a couple of 8th graders, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And, you know, a lot of times you can look at a class and go, yep, keep my notes on them. We're going to see them next year and the year after and the year after that.
Clarksville team that's made a bit of a home here in Fort Dodge, too. 6th time in school history, 5th time in the last 7 seasons. So, to your point,
a get-me-over strike from Flanagan, 3-1. And at the time, the last time that I had Clarksville in a game, she wasn't Katie Burnham, she was Katie Wedeking. So you have life changes that happen. Back to Flanagan. Throws over to first and retires, so a ball doesn't leave the infield. Clarksville goes in order. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 2-0 North Linn.
What's affordable to her might not be for him. Our means may be different, but our need for energy is the same. And keeping the price for that energy as low as possible is exactly what we strive to do. It's what we've always done. Investments made 10 years ago have kept prices nearly unchanged. Investments made today will help keep prices predictable for the future. With energy that's cleaner, reliable, and affordable for all. An energy future that's American-made. Mid-American. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Your official state tournament merchandise is now available online. Time to get your smartphones out. See that little QR code right there? Scan it now or visit IGHSAU.org to browse and customize your merchandise to match your style. We joked on Tuesday, and I know they joked about it on Monday. They needed the long sleeves for this night game. Right now it's 77 degrees. The breeze still blowing. There'll be a lot of times up here at Harlan and Hazel Rogers as the first pitch is put into play by Kenzie Bridgewater, and it's a quick put out. It normally is one of those sweat through the 6 layers, 6 shirts that you have, or a shirt or 2 that you have on as you watch this replay go right past the glove of the pitcher Hardy.
Well, I was going to ask, Paul, you've spent a lot of years here watching these games. Where does the weather rank so far through 3 days compared to the rest of...
You don't even have to finish that question. Number 1, without a doubt. As Casey Kasem would say, it's number 1 with a bullet.
So I shouldn't get used to this if I do get to come back for next season, huh?
The 1-0. Ground ball right back at Hardy. Great defensive play to her right to make that play. Now, we've had rain, we've had late, we've had rain and late, we've had hot. So hot, I will bring a towel to put over my lap to wipe my hands before I make the score in my book, because otherwise the pages get wet. I've had it with fans on my front and feet because of the flies or when it gets down. You get all kinds of weather here in Iowa. It's not just a Fort Dodge thing. You are in the second to last week of July. It's supposed to be 95 in the shade. Now, the union will tell you that where the media used to be was in the wide open. There was no overhang. There was hardly a fence behind you. you were out in the sun for a full day's work. The 1-1 comes back over the plate to Jersey Payton, who homered in her last at-bat. We've seen some great home runs over the last 10 years here. Again, changes, center field bleachers, speakers, lights, stands, netting. Hit in the air, but it's playable in center for Campman, and that is the side retired for the Lynx. We move on. 2-0 North Linn.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
No win.
Top of the order in the 4th, as you look at the high home view here at Rogers Sports Complex. There you see the warm-up diamonds. Parking lot first, then the warm-up diamonds beyond that. And you see the huddle of white jerseys in the circle around Ellie Flanagan. They break, part ways back to their positions, and they go to work here in the 4th. Kaylin Hardy, Emily Manwaring, and Jenna Myers due up for Clarksville. Flanagan's faced the minimum, yet to give up a hit or a walk. And it wouldn't be the first near perfect or perfect game on this diamond in back-to-back games. That pitch is low. Campbell German for Martinsdale St. Mary's had a perfect game before giving up a single to the leadoff batter in the top of the 7th. So Martinsdale St. Mary's pitching from Campbell German is really good, and so far Ellie Flanagan is following suit. Not to take anything away from Kaylin Hardy, she's only given up 3 hits, and one was a home run. There was a single in the 2nd, and that one is pushed to right towards the line, diving in foul territory. Making the catch is Ava Hoover.
Again, we talked about range a little bit already, specifically on the Lynx side of the diamond here. A couple nice plays at second base, but this one even better. A lot of ground to cover there, and anytime your glove is horizontal like that and you don't get to put it up in the air, it makes things that much more difficult. A spectacular catch.
Emily Manwaring looks at the first pitch for a ball. Great defensive play there in right in deep end.
Manwaring had a huge day in that Warhawks game. She was 3 for 4 with an RBI, 3 singles in that game. Was a big part of the Clarksville offense and what got them to this game here tonight.
She lays down the bunt, fielded, throws to first, right in the same path. Munson crashed, and so that was Bridgewater covering. The 3-4 put out.
Single-handedly putting down the Indians here is Bridgewater.
Yeah, makes back-to-back plays in the 3rd. Now so the 2 fastest Indians are retired. And it's quickly 2 out in the 4th. Starts with the changeup. It is
guess who?
Right at Bridgewater. Makes a grab, and that'll end the Clarksville half of the 4th. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network presented by Mid-American Energy.
What's affordable to her might not be for him. Our means may be different, but our need for energy is the same. And keeping the price for that energy as low as possible is exactly what we strive to do. It's what we've always done. Investments made 10 years ago have kept prices nearly unchanged. Investments made today will help keep prices predictable for the future. With energy that's cleaner, reliable, and affordable for all. An energy future that's American-made. Mid-American. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Being your family's grocery store isn't just about having the best butcher cut meat or the freshest produce. It's not about having the highest quality online shopping or experts who handpick your groceries. And it's not just about giving you the most affordable prices. Being your family's grocery store means making sure that you have all of that. And that's why at Fairway Meat and Grocery, it's what we've always been about.
A lot of zeros on that board, except for one little blip. Back in the first, North Linn scored 2. Otherwise, it's been pretty much even. Good defense, good pitching to get us to the bottom of the fourth for North Linn. Munson, McMahon, and Henderson due up for the Lynx. And Coach Chad Spoor, their team, 37-6, playing in the ever wonderful and great Tri-Rivers Conference. It's my old conference. Jessup's not in it anymore, but I still call it my conference.
Got to give it love when it's due there, right, Paul?
When my sisters went through, it was the Cedar Wapsie, then it became and now the NICL is the old Cedar Wapsie pretty much. So Clarksville in that same area, North Linn and Clarksville did not play in the regular season, but they easily could. Same meet in Waterloo. Cedar Falls about halfway. The 1-1. Lifted, foul, and it hit the pavement behind here. This is the last game of the semifinal round. We played quarterfinals on Monday and Tuesday, semifinals all today, finals, and the third place game will take place in the 5A, 4A class tomorrow. The 1-2 from Hardy is high.
And minus the blast by Peyton a couple of innings ago, there have been a lot of swing and miss reports you've been coming in on. They're having a hard time, these Lynx, at keeping up with the fastball of Hardy. Behind on that one again.
Well, fastball is one thing. Watch the movement on her pitches. Hardy has what almost looks like, you could say, left-handed motion from a right-handed pitcher. You're going to see a couple of these spins. You can kind of pick it up from both where we're sitting looking out and where you're watching looking in, and see how that one kind of backed up. Now, some of those pitches are different, and that's a fly ball caught by, that's Campman. Katie Campman makes the catch. It's all about motion. It's all about eye level. It's about height. It's about speed, location. It's not always about who has the best fastball. Some coaches will tell you, what's your pitcher throw? 3 pitches. What more do you need?
Whatever Caitlin Hardy's doing, it's working. Needs a little run support here, and Indians can be right back in this game. Something about this diamond. There's been a lot of pitching duels on this diamond, at least that I've been a part of.
Yeah, Kruger Seeds Field here is the championship diamond for the rest of the week. That one's hit in the air towards right. Underneath it is Manwaring, who makes the grab, and there's 2 away here in the fourth.
To be a part of the opener of the 1A quarterfinals with Martinsdale St. Mary's in that St. Edmund game where you talked about it, the prowess of German and her pitching abilities. Just remarkable to watch her go to work. It was a 1-0 final.
And that was a 1-8 matchup. Mm-hmm. You know, the Gales here from in town hadn't been to the tournament in a little while.
Great crowd for that one too, obviously.
A lot of green, and then there was a lot of black and red for Fort Dodge. Both teams making it from this community, and turned out well, but yeah, Martinsdale St. Mary's, who beat Collins Maxwell to get into the tournament. They had everything they could handle from St. Ed's to escape in the 8-inning win. So let's see, I think it was 2 number 2 seeds went out in the opening day and a number 1, and both number 1s who had yet to play had challenges, tough challenges. That is lifted to center and hangs up just enough for Paige Campman to make the grab, slide to a knee, and retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We go to the top of the 5th, 2-0 North Linn.
In Iowa, we all play by the same rules. Hard work pays off, practice makes perfect, Success is something you earn, and teamwork helps us all be winners. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics, because on our team and on yours, what we bring to the table is what brings us all together. Learn more about our commitment to Iowa at iowapork.org.
Central College has you covered with career-building programs and with tuition less than $20,000 a year and tons of scholarships. It's the best decision ever. Apply today at central.edu. No runs, no hits, no errors for Clarksville. First pitch spanked into center, over the head. How about that? The throw into second is not in time, and it's a leadoff double for Rachel Borchert. That breaks up the no-hitter and the perfect game for Flanagan and gives Clarksville, as you said, Ben, a little bit of life. Get somebody on base, and you never know what can happen.
Senior can get it done on the diamond and in the classroom, an all-state, all-academic member this year as well. And that was a little bit of taste of the Lynx own medicine there. We saw them pounding the ball around a little bit a couple innings ago, and that one was just belted over the head of the center fielder.
I wasn't trying to do an announcer jinx. I was trying to set the table of 0-0-0 and 2-3-0, and I just didn't get the 2-3-0 out part before the ball landed. But man, Borchert hit that first one. Oh, sorry.
No sorry needed.
First pitch from Flanagan to Paige Campman. Paige Campman made the last out of that inning when Clarksville was on defense, and Lauren Kelm will run at second. And that's hit right at Bridgewater, who somehow recovers. Most second basemen do not make that play. But Kenzie Bridgewater, that thing went up 4 feet. As you'll see here, I'm guessing in the replay, Justin's all over it. Watch this thing. Ping, pong, collect, throw. Not only did she recover, she had the wherewithal to make the out.
It's a black hole at second base right now. I wouldn't be wanting to hit anywhere near that. The body control to sort that out. What's going on in your head when that ball goes in the air is, uh-oh, and to still be able to spin like that and go, wait a minute, I still got this play, and then turn and throw one on a dime like that. We've been talking about Bridgewater a lot, and she's earned every breath from us. She's been sensational at second.
Kelm goes to third on what really wasn't a sacrifice, but was. It was just a ground ball. It's not officially listed as a sacrifice, but it gets the job, does the same. And now Flanagan struggled to hit the zone. 2-0, now 2-1. That might have been ball 3 if Blocher can lay off that one. A little bit of rattle, possibly, but Flanagan, who's been here, she watched her sister as a pitcher, played with her other sister on the field. Flanagan was on the field. She's been on this diamond several times in her career. But she wants to be in the circle as it's a called strike. 2-2.
Well, you don't win 24 games in the regular season without having a little bit of trouble behind you. So Flanagan's been here before.
That one sails out high. See what that pitch might have been setting up for right here on the 3-2 coming to Blocher, because if Blocher can get that thing to the right side, she might be able to push this run. Not sure she's going to be able to get something to lift foul or far enough to get a sacrifice fly, but she's got to do anything she can here to get that run home. The pitch to Blocher is chopped to the right side, but foul. And it's easy to be behind on Flanagan to push it to the right side.
Well, no kidding. Everybody's been behind on her today.
Hence why Bridgewater has had nearly every play, it seems, man.
A lot of right infield balls today. Another late one.
Again, hit to the right side between the foul net and the light pole down that first base side. Just a gorgeous night. I cannot get over how beautiful it is here. This is a Chamber of Commerce night indeed, the 3-2. is hit in the air, and it's going to get down for a hit. She doesn't need to sacrifice. She just needs to put it in play, and Clarksville's cut the lead on a single to left, right center by Molly Bloker.
Well, if you want to run the replay back and show that in video at some point, if you're Katie Berman, you should. That's a textbook at bat, staying with it against a flame-throwing pitcher and finding a way to fight off a 3-2 count and hit it right back up the gut. Spectacular work there from Bloker.
But here's the thing, Kelm had to kind of hang up for that one because North Linn is so good defensively, she's thinking they might get that one. It would have been a tough play for second for Bridgewater to go, turn, pivot. I'm sure she could.
I was going to say, anything hit there, you're sort of worried it's probably going to wind out as an out the way she's played tonight.
But you think McMahon coming in would maybe have a better chance if she catches it. So Kelm plays it safe, dribbles down about 8 feet, and then makes the way down instead of tagging up. Chad Spoor comes out, circle huddle, circle broken. Now it's time for Flanagan as they discuss what they're going to do to Hannah Wagnus, who plays third and is a freshman. Infield corners are in, 1 out. That ball is lifted in the air, foul but playable, and caught by Munson. In foul territory, doesn't matter, it is an out. 2 away for Clarksville, and that leaves Bloker at first, not moved up on that at bat.
It's so great to get a simple stopper. You see, as I saw in the game I came from, when you fail to get stoppers after 1-2 runs get in, that's when, at least in the small amount of softball I've seen in this state tournament, that's when things start to unravel for you. So to get a play like that, nice and simple for your first baseman to just kind of waltz in and make a nice, easy pop out, that's a big one for everybody's confidence to try to slow down this Indians team that's finding a little mojo here in the 5th.
Katie Campman bats now for Clarksville. The 0-1 coming with 2 outs here in the 5th. Flanagan's pitch is hit to right, fair. That's going to be quickly scooped up by Hoover, and that was a rocket, and now there's going to be a play at third. No, she'll hold the throw. Peyton picked it up and maybe had a chance to get Bloker, but she wisely holds it. It'll be runners at the corners with 2 outs. So the tying run moves to third. The go-ahead run goes down to first on a single by Katie Campman.
I agree with you, Paul. Wisely there from Peyton. You already saw one throw cost this North Linn team an advanced runner to third. You didn't need to start kicking it around again. You got 2 outs. You just need anything in play here to swallow it up. So if you got no outs, maybe you give that a shot, but you're 1 out away from this inning being over.
And that one is swung on and fouled right above the camera position on the first base dugout. Again, behind on Flanagan. I'm not really sure if Ellie's done anything different or if just the second time through for this Clarksville order, maybe just a little confidence boost. It's a different Clarksville team right now. That pitch is hit and then caught in the air by, I don't know, I'm going to say Bridgewater.
Just throw a name out into the air. If you're not sure, just take a guess, and you're probably right.
Clarksville scores 1, leave 2. We've played 4.5. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 North Linn.
What's affordable to her might not be for him. Our means may be different, but our need for energy is the same. And keeping the price for that energy as low as possible is exactly what we strive to do. It's what we've always done. Investments made 10 years ago have kept prices nearly unchanged. Investments made today will help keep prices predictable for the future. With energy that's cleaner, reliable, and affordable for all. An energy future that's American-made. Mid-American. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Living your best life means something different to everyone, especially when it comes to healthcare. That's why Mercy One offers compassionate, personalized care. We are here for you with one team of experts, providing access to the primary care and highly rated specialty care you need, easily and conveniently. So go ahead, live your best life. We're with you every step of the way. Mercy One, your best life, our one purpose.
8-9-1 due up for North Linn. Clarksville's cut the lead in half. 1-3-1 for the Indians, 2-3-0 for the Lynx. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Paul Yeager and Ben Gislison with you tonight. Put into play between third and short and in the left field. That's what's called a base hit. It's a lead-off first pitch of the inning for the Lynx.
Sorry there, Paul. I was just going to say carved when I see those players just place those balls perfectly in between, just equidistant between the shortstop and the third base. That's a perfect spot.
That's a perfect cheer word. Equidistant. See, I want more.
Might confuse a few people with a chant like that.
I want student bodies to have cheers like that. Boy, that was a high pitch, swung on, popped up on the infield, coming in to make the grab is Katie Campman on Allie Christensen. Can't move the runner up, one away here in the fifth. That'll bring the top of the order, Skylar Benish. Benish tonight led off the game with the single for North Linn in their at bat and struck out back in the second. Kaylin Hardy's pitch misses, so it's a 1-ball, no strike count. North Linn looking to get that run back. Rayberg hit the first pitch she saw in this inning, stands at first. That pitch catches the plate.
That one started outside too, and just like that movement you talked about, caught the corner.
Hardy gonna play softball in college, but she says she's done pitching. She says, yeah, I'm just going to play infield. It's what they want me to do here at Iowa Central. And coaches are kind of like, are you sure? I mean, we might be interested in you being a pitcher.
Well, at least coaches will know they got someone they can go to if maybe for some reason they don't like their bullpen one night.
Well, when you have 8 or 9 pitchers, which a lot of times a junior college will have, maybe 8 or 7, 6, somewhere in there, you find that gem, and you find that, I mean, a lot of smaller players go the community college route, and that is a walk issued to Benish, so the speedy Benish sprints down to first. And I believe that's actually the first walk of the game Hardy has issued. So now it's runners at first and second with the 1 out for Kenzie Bridgewater. She's done it all defensively. Let's see what she can do with the bat. But it's, some of those smaller school opportunities, the coaches will say, I just need to see you against better competition. And some of those girls excel at that next level and turn it into something, at a Division I, Division II, and they get a chance to play. And some will go Division III, or some will just say, I'm done. They just say, get me on the field. I'll figure it out from there.
And just like any sport, some players are late bloomers, too. They maybe need that extra year.
Bridgewater lifts it to center, but Campman is there. She takes 2 steps to her left, grabs it in, and there's 2 away in the fifth.
One of those situations where you just hit it hard someplace but in the wrong spot, right?
And if runners were moved up to third, that's an easy RBI right there.
Perfect.
That was perfect distance. Mackenzie flies out. That leaves Ellie Flanagan. She's just an, oh, by the way, your third place hitter. So she can whack at it. Takes the first pitch to the first base side. Looks like a pull cue shot. Orchard picks it up, retires. Now Clarksville with 6 outs to go. They need 1 run to tie, 2 to take the lead. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. And that old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
We move to the 6th. 2-1 North Linn over Clarksville in this Class 1A semifinal. The winner to play Friday night in the last game of the season at 7:30. And the pitch from Flanagan misses.
Something so wholesome in Americana of being on a diamond under the lights, especially when the weather's like this. But middle of summer, just screams just an American pastime to me. Just terrific evening.
And here, Ben, is your apple pie to present to the camera shop. The camera's right out there. We're going to cut to that. Yeah. Gene Berger thanks you.
Yes, on a plaid picnic blanket.
The 2-0 is in there for a called strike. Clarksville, top of the order. It's the pitcher. It's Kaylin Hardy, Emily Manwaring, and Jenna Myers. 1, 2, 3. Hardy tonight 0 for 2. She's flied out to center and right. And she now has a hitter's count at 3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, you were so cold you had to put a long sleeve on.
If you can believe that. When's the last time you saw a long sleeve here at the state tournament?
It's in my car. You just learn. I think Laura has her long sleeves on, and she's already packed the blanket for Friday. She knows in case she needs it, because it is supposed to be about the same temperature on Friday. It's a little more muggy today, a little more humidity.
Yes.
The 3-2 is fouled into the net off to the right. Yesterday was just gorgeous, and I heard Monday was gorgeous.
Monday was fantastic.
And this is nothing to complain about at all.
Yeah, they got the, is it the Cooley station back there, which I'm sure is much more of a haven on the 95 days than it has been, even though it's a nice spot. Can take in both games at once, sitting up on the top of the deck. I got there Tuesday morning, didn't have a game till 1, sat and watched a couple of games from afar, did a couple of notes up there, a little breeze.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Didn't have any of my papers blow away, which I would have never seen again if that
Right.
would have happened. Had a couple anchors and weights up there ready to keep that wind off. That's been a new venture for me, broadcasting outside.
3-2 is hit right at Bridgewater. I don't keep defensive stats in the sense of how many
That's
plays.
on me. I'm your color commentator. I should have been keeping tabs on how many times Bridgewater's been in the receiving end of these.
2,
it's at least
3,
7.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's been involved in 8 defensive plays, whether it's fly ball, which I think is 3, and now she plays defense.
She's made a play from there, too, on a bunt.
Yeah, and in fact, it was this play before to Manwaring. This is another one of those fast runners. Hardy has wheels. Manwaring does, and she pops it up, playable, but in foul territory, off the glove, into the right hand. Allie Christensen, take a bow, great defensive play.
And again, the ability of these players to sort out the difficult plays, and not that play was all that difficult, but again, I brought it up when Bridgewater made that beautiful spinning move. What's happening in your head right there? Oh! You know, and it's just the quick twitch muscles to react like that and just basket catch it. Just sensational.
Well, you're around guys that are an eyelash away from the NHL, and you know how good their quick twitch muscles are and how they can flick whatever and respond and stop that puck, or the athlete in general who can even play at this level is a mile ahead of everybody here in the stands. Yeah. Otherwise, we'd be on the field.
I was going to say, if not 5 or 10 miles ahead, maybe, but you're exactly right, especially this level, especially the state tournament, the best the state has to offer in front of us here all week long.
Jenna Myers fouls that one back into the seats behind us. And I think that ball hit every section, or every row as it bounced. So somebody didn't have some quick twitch muscles up there because they weren't able to stop it.
Just like you said, why they're there, not out here.
The 2-1 coming. Offside, and oh boy, did Myers want that. Well, I mentioned this yesterday. You know, if a fan makes a catch in banana ball, it's an out. They do not have that rule here in Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball.
I was going to ask, what is banana ball?
Savannah Banana
Savannah
Baseball.
Bananas, I was going to ask.
Yep.
I was actually down in Savannah a couple months ago. Thought about going to a game. They weren't there, unfortunately.
Banish across to Munson. The rare 6-3 put out. Either way, Clarksville goes in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th. North Linn 2, Clarksville 1.
What's affordable to her might not be for him. Our means may be different, but our need for energy is the same. And keeping the price for that energy as low as possible is exactly what we strive to do. It's what we've always done. Investments made 10 years ago have kept prices nearly unchanged. Investments made today will help keep prices predictable for the future. With energy that's cleaner, reliable, and affordable for all. An energy future that's American-made. Mid-American. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
North Linn from Linn County, Clarksville, Butler County, Northeast Iowa. You probably haven't spent much time up in Northeast Iowa.
You know, my in-laws have a place in Clear Lake, so not quite northeast. I've been to Dubuque a few times back when I was working for the Des Moines Buccaneers in the USHL. I've been to Dubuque a few times.
And you've probably been to Waterloo.
Yes,
for the
been to Waterloo
Blackhawks.
plenty of times.
So again, Waterloo could be the halfway point between these two in that area. And you did Buccaneer hockey, so
correct.
And now the hockey. I was just asking, third season,
fourth with the club, third doing the play-by-play, and then the even more fascinating part of my job is doing the team services, so booking planes and buses and hotel rooms, and I've got too many stories about canceled flights and being stuck in Houston, Texas. With a game the next day, by the way, in San Diego. But that's for another time. We didn't have enough time on the end of this game to get through some of those.
Jersey Payton leads things off for North Linn in their half of the sixth. She's already up in the count, 1-0. That pitch breaks at her ankles, and it'll be 2-0. I've gotten to know former broadcaster for the Iowa Cubs, now assistant general manager, Randy Wayhofer, and he had done podcasts for the Iowa Cubs a couple of years ago. And him and Alex Cohen, the current play-by-play voice, did travel stories for a whole episode about leaving equipment behind, buses breaking down, flights being missed, grounded here, showing up, no batting practice, playing. It happens a lot. The 2-1. Fouled back right here.
When you only have to work one season, and you'll have plenty of those stories. So the minute you even work 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, and by the way, Alex Cohen, a fabulous play-by-play voice.
Yes.
With the minute you get in 3, 4, 5 years in, you've got enough to write your own book. And trust me, everybody that's been in it could write one.
The 2-2. Ground ball to short. Lodge across the diamond, scooped out of the dirt by Borchert for the putout.
Borchert's had a nice little game today.
Yeah.
She's contributed. She's delivered on a couple situations at the plate, and then a great stab there, that little short hop, and a nice play from short as well.
You know, and the travel stories happen in this level too, but it's different. You look at the schools. Let's take the bigger schools. They might just, a lot of the Des Moines schools will come up, go back home each and every night. Clarksville or North Linn or, someone else might come. They'll be here for the whole week. The parents will soap that bus, and it'll have every girl's name written in the window whenever you see it. Again, stick around Wells Fargo someday. Don't go on the road with the team, and you'll see it.
I was going to say, we're never here in March because there's always state tournaments going on. We planned that out properly.
But you see it. That's all part of it. Or it's the van that they have, and you can easily see, let's go 4, 9, 12, and 15. Nice pitch there to Munson for a called strike. Kylie Munson, the first baseman.
It's just such a unifying week, too. And, I mean, some of these moments that these girls and parents are going to have. I was thinking about Cameron Cobb, who came in late in that game, as this one's grounded to short.
Over across to Borchert from Lodge again, and it's another shortstop to first putout. 2 away.
With that Van Meter game, Central Springs took out their ace when it was 10-3 to give the youngster, sophomore, who pitched a few games, an opportunity. And all of a sudden, her team comes roaring back, and then she has to get out of a 10-9 game jam with 2 runners on, gets a double play ball hit. So, I mean, you talk about that pretty cool moment for her and her parents. Super special. She didn't think that was coming today, nor did her parents.
Maddie Blocher makes the grab, and North Linn goes 1, 2, 3. Here's the thing. We're going to the 7th. 3 outs away could determine this game when we return. This is the Digital Network presented by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, The Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
If you want someone at the plate, and you're Coach Katie Burnham, you want Rachel Borchert. She led off a double in the 5th that started a rally. She leads off the 7th, looks at a first pitch, Ephus, swings and misses, and now fouls one away, and she's down in the hole, 0-2. That was the pitch. Oh, I can hit that. No, you can't because you're expecting heat as we were coming out of break.
Flames that have been coming out of the ball behind the pitches of Flanagan. That's the furthest ahead I've seen a swing this week by a mile.
That pitch is hit foul down the right field line, and it rolls down into the corner.
Just like that, the gas is back.
Yeah. Flanagan's only given up 1 run this tournament. North Linn has only scored 3 runs this tournament, and they're 3 outs away from being in the championship game. They scored 1 unearned run to win the opener, and they've scored 2 on a home run in this one. Doesn't matter. You don't have to. You can guarantee what some smarty told me. The person who wins is the one with more runs.
Simple as that. Have we seen the Ephus pitch yet from her, or has she just had this up her sleeve the whole game and she's waited until the final inning to throw it?
And it was the perfect place to Borchert because that's the one who dinged you the last time. So, yeah, let's start her with a major change. Swing and a miss! Down goes Borchert. And it moves the line to Paige Campman with 1 away.
They call that one the dark one, Paul. That one came just nastily cruising into the outside corner, and the bottom just fell right out from under it the minute it got to the plate. Just a super pitch from Flanagan in the biggest of moments.
Campman looks at a first pitch strike. Flanagan had struck out 4 of the first 6 that she faced, had not struck anybody out until the second, until leading off the 6th with Borchert there. She gets her 5th strikeout of the game, first out of the 7th, and she's ahead now 0-1 on Paige Campman. The freshman second baseman swings and misses. Campman in her last at-bat had a sacrifice to the right side that moved Borchert, well, it was Kelm running at that point, to third, and then Blocher would score. You got to have base runners here to keep things moving. The 2-0-2 is swung on and missed. 6th strikeout of the game, and just like that, Clarksville is down to their final out, and it's Molly Blocher, who had a single back in the 5th. So she says, I think I can do it again.
Well, in sports, there are special moments, and there are few, I think, more special or more just commanding than watching a pitcher who's got it all going and knows she's got it going, and that's the case right now for Flanagan, oozing confidence in the circle. She's doing whatever she wants with that softball.
The 1-0 coming. Gets away from the catcher. Jesse Payton, she'll chase it down. Payton's not had to work that hard tonight. A lot of strikes, a lot of balls put in play. They've all had to work hard, that is for certain. This is not an easy game so far. The 2-0 from Flanagan. Fouled back into the screen behind. It'll be 2-1. Flanagan going to go to DMAC. We haven't really, she leads 1A, or she leads all classes with 73 RBIs. She hasn't driven in a run this tournament. So a player can change. It's who you don't expect. As that pitch comes in for a strike, and now like that, Clarksville is down to their final strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the 7th. The winner to play in the state championship game on Friday. Winds and fires outside, 3-2.
The guts to watch that one go by. That didn't miss by much. Great take from Bloker.
Let's do it again. Flanagan's pitch, chop to the right side. Bridgewater again fields it, throws, and the Lynx are back in the state tournament final with a 2-1 win over Clarksville.
And guess who ends it? A fitting way for a great game at second base by Mackenzie Bridgewater, but what a marvelous performance in the circle by the pitcher, Ellie Flanagan. I mean, talk about command, talk about control. The heat was there. Loved the eephus pitches at the end. That's a force to be reckoned with for the batters that she'll face in the state final coming up here at the end of this week.
So it'll be Martinsdale St. Mary's.
And what a pitching matchup there, huh?
Oh, against North Linn, two pitchers who've not given up a whole lot of hits and two offenses that haven't scored a lot of runs. Martinsdale, though, today did kind of punch some runners across in that 9-0 win, but it's chalk. It's the only class, I believe, except 1A and 2A will be chalk. Okay, who am I kidding? 1, 2, and 3 are all chalk. It's 4 and 5 that's thrown off. But will advance the winner, North Linn. They'll play at 7:30 Friday night.
But a great season for Clarksville. You never want to forget to congratulate the Indians and the team that falls short, though they get out of the limelight. Nothing that they'll hang their heads about, though it'll sting right now. You'll look back on it and say it was a terrific run.
Clarksville, only their second loss of the season, and it comes in the state semifinals. So their record will go to 29-2. They will play in the third place game on Friday afternoon, late afternoon. That game, actually, it's an evening, 6 o'clock game, and they will play Wayne. So that is how the semifinal action goes. You see a great 2A semi. Come over here for a fast-moving, quick 1A semi. We talked about your experiences of the tournament. We hope you can watch the finals because we still have 5 games to go.
I'll be looking forward to hearing your voice on it too as well. Paul, it's been a pleasure, and it's been a great pleasure all week being here with a lot of great broadcasters, yourself included. Enjoy the rest of the tournament. Thanks to all the fans out there for tuning in.
Thank you so much. That's Ben Gislison. You can hear him call professional hockey. This is a real dude right here. Ben, thank you so much. Great job. Thank you to all of the crew here from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network. Everybody staying out in the sun and the weather, and they want to go home. So I say North Linn wins 2-1. So long from Fort Dodge.